Hey guys,
Hey, I'm good.
how are you guys doing?
Had an okay weekend, pretty chill. Just binged a show
No,
on
I
Yeah,
haven't
Netflix.
been
oh
doing
yeah.
much of anything. I don't
Sorry,
have very
it's
much
been a
work. It all
long
That's
dried
it.
up.
weekend.
I
It's
took
been
a
long.
walk
So
because the weather was nice,
I'm just
but
hanging out
otherwise I didn't do
and
much.
watching Netflix shows.
So how's
It
school
seems
going
like
for you?
every day
I know
feels
again,
like Monday,
the whole COVID thing, you
and
can't
when
really
it's
go
not
to
Monday, I
classes.
Yeah,
don't
I
know what
can't
day
wait
it
for it
is.
to
Now.
rain again.
So
It looks like it's going to, but
I was actually trying to post more myself, and I know it's mostly a privilege thing.
I was alone, or so it seemed, forced to listen to the TV screen, forced to consider my life for what it was, not fully awake, not fully aware of who or what I was. I lost all my work in the shelter at home. I wasn't panicked at first. I am bravest in extreme adversity. I quickly turned inward and swam in the tears. I found that the pain had been waiting there for years. Those too afraid to look inward will lash out in fear. I am an
I
addict.
was actually
I show
trying
all
to
the
post more
signs.
myself,
Impulsive
and
and
I know
mindless,
it's
I
mostly a
feed my
privilege
pain.
that
social experiment.
I sit every day in the silence of love, the container for my existence.
I'm a homebody. I don't like big parties or crowds, and when I need to be social, it can really wear me out. So I'm mostly an introvert. I'm telling you this because I want you to know that when they started saying we'd have to stay at home for a while, I wasn't worried. I work from home. I already spend most of my time at home. I like being at home. So, yeah, I thought it wouldn't be much of a change. And the first few weeks of social distancing were sort of okay. I still went grocery shopping, to the drugstore, the post office, that kind of thing. Eventually, though, I got more nervous about getting sick or not knowing I was sick, so I started getting everything delivered. I didn't go much of anywhere, except to a friend's house who I'd already been exposed to. If we were gonna get sick, I figured we would have already had symptoms. Plus, we were sort of starting to date at the time, which is a whole nother story I'm not even gonna get into, except to say the beginning of a pandemic lockdown is prime shitty time to start a relationship. Anyway, after I got more serious about staying at home, I started to miss people. Not even hanging out or really interacting with people, just being in the same space as other bodies, passing someone in the grocery aisle, standing in line somewhere, just being, existing with other people doing the same everyday thing as me. That was gone. And I missed it. I realized my daily insignificant errands in the before time filled a need other than stocking up on something I ran out of. A need I didn't know was there and wouldn't have identified until it went unfulfilled. Yeah, you have a good day too. Excuse me. Sure, you can sit there. Wordless acknowledgments, like nods, tight smiles, quick glances. From what, hundreds a day to zero? It hit me hard because I never expected it. My mood took a dive. I still have therapy, thank fuck, even if it's on a screen. I still have appointments with my psychiatrist to make sure my meds are working like they should. Go outside, she says. Take a walk. Seems easy enough. But I spend most days in my room with my phone. Anyway. I'm grateful for my dogs. They keep me company and on a schedule. I'm feeling better lately. I have a lot of meh days, but not that many really bad days. My thing right now is being anxious about the entire world's future of personal contact, amplifying Black voices whenever possible, staying at home, playing Animal Crossing, thinking about going outside but not going outside, checking Facebook, checking email, checking Facebook. I don't know what's gonna happen next, but for now, I'm still at home, doing my thing.
The shelter in place was one thing, a different thing. I was nursing a back injury and a breakup, and that magic combination of things forced me to confront my number one shadow. The thing I've battled my entire life from my very first memories. Loneliness. The feeling, the pain, the aching emptiness of needing to feel loved. Essentially jobless for a month. I hadn't really seen anyone. Definitely hadn't touched anyone. The solitude at one point had grown spikes and felt like piercing to my body, although maybe that was just the back pain. But even when the back pain was excruciating, the emotional punch of the loneliness made the overall narrative dark. How horrible a person must I be if no one wants to be with me? I must deserve this. What a waste of life. I fucked it all up. Who would even care if I died? But in those moments, I battle with the dual belief. On some level, I know I am not horrible. I know I have friends and love in my life, that my life is not a waste. I have seen and done incredible things. It's like I'm calling out to God to show me some inkling of love. In the past, that feeling was like a passing storm cloud, but the shelter in place made it into an unending hurricane. I don't know. I don't know. The thing is, those huge feelings seem so far away from me now. I had been afraid to say Black Lives Matter until recently. I was one of the white silent type. I didn't know all the stories. I didn't see the thin veil of my own racism, my own complacency. I have woken up to my own culpability. Some of it's still too murky for me to understand my privilege. So how do I use my privilege? I have not been on the streets. The irony of my loneliness is that I am terrified of people. But I've been rethinking my entire life. The only thing that makes sense to me now is to devote my entire life to being of service to the creation of the world I want. This is not about kindness. This is about every action being steeped in my core values: equality, freedom, and love. I accept that this is a marathon, not a race. I will still encounter my own prejudice and commit myself to the encounter.
big family back in Louisiana. And when you see us together, we loud. Real loud. But we're welcoming and friendly too. I mean, holidays are filled with more food than an army can finish, more games going wrong than right. Let me tell you, there will be cheating, shouting, laughing, joking before the winner is even announced. Yeah, we close. There's just so much love we have for each other. We're like a hands-on family. You know, we're always loving on each other with hugs and just other personal contact. And when we're like far away from each other, we just make do with simple phone calls and other things like, FaceTime. Don't get me started with FaceTime because we started wearing that thing out before it was popping. You hear me? But only if we had to, only if we was far away. But COVID-19 let's just say COVID-19 has been a real roller coaster. Distance is a kind of spatial relationship that my family has never had to nor wanted to explore. We bond by hugging, cooking together, playing games, house hopping. But when March 2020 hit, we had no idea how it would affect us. At the beginning of April, my cousin Melissa suddenly died. And just when we had to catch our breaths, we realized we can't convene. We can't gather in grief to support each other and warm each other's hearts. No more than 10 isolated people could attend the service. But we could live stream it. We could not come together to mourn for the number of days that we are accustomed to. So each of us, individually in our apartments, collectively in our households, had to mourn apart. I would say that Zoom meetings, FaceTime, and all these other video apps have helped, but still, in spite of this new normal we have to live through, this time apart still hurts. It's been draining for each of us in a number of ways. We miss what we had, and we mourn what we lost. But for the most part, we acknowledge the value of what we have. We have a special bond that we've appreciated for years. And now, I guess this is getting used to the hard part. Isolation and the hunger to be together. And while it's hard, COVID has reiterated and redefined what the good thing is, and when the good thing is no longer there. But this too shall pass. And when it does, I think we'll celebrate. I think we'll celebrate a little longer. We will hug a bit tighter. And we will linger longer for more than just an afternoon. We will always remember what we couldn't do before. And look at this time like a rearview mirror. Never gazing back at it for long periods of time, but always looking back and check just to make sure that the present and the future are always ambient and always in your peripheral.
I was alone, or so it seemed, forced to listen to the TV screen, forced to consider life for what it was, empty and isolated. I miss the smell, the sense of collective gathering. How did I not sense it before? Not fully awake, not fully aware of who or what we are. Pain pushes until the vision pulls. The light pours in and potential is infinite. The container is love. I meet each heart with my heart, and with that one action, I connect.